Happy early Valentine's Day, everyone. We're a couple of days away now, so that gives you plenty of time to get these lovely treats ready for the love in your life. We are gonna make some heart-shaped raspberry hand pies today. So very simple, starting with some store-bought pie crust. Of course, you can make your own, but this is so much easier, I promise you. You really just need a few ingredients and you can make some really sweet treats. And I mean sweet as in kind, cute, but also sweet for your sweetheart. Here we go. Let's get started with our pie crust here. I just have parchment paper and I have one of these boxes where you have two. So I have the other one here. Basically, we're gonna use one for the bottom and the other for the top. That means when you cut out your shapes, you wanna have equal parts. So you have one side for each, right? So to do that, you could just, use a regular circle. That's totally fine, whatever shape you have on hand. I happen to have several little heart shapes. And this one I was gonna use, but I think it's kind of big. So I'm gonna go with this one. Then I can get more out of it. And obviously get them as close together as you can so you get more hand pies out of this, right? So what I'm gonna do, just to start off, I'm gonna try to get as many little hearts out of this one pie crust as I can get. Okay, so now we have our cute little heart in the pie shape. We'll go ahead and put it over here. Now, as I said, I'm gonna make raspberry ones. You can use whatever you want. I just got raspberry preserves. You can use strawberry. Really, you can use any type of fruit filling because you already have the heart shape, so you don't need the red filling, but that's what I'm gonna do. So, just gonna take about, I was gonna do a tablespoon, but honestly, I think it's gonna be a teaspoon because you definitely do not wanna overfill this or it's just gonna seep all out in the oven. So I'm gonna put just a little dab in here. That is probably good. Then I just have an egg wash here. Again, that's just egg and water. I scrambled it up a little bit and then we're going to brush it on. That's gonna help stick the sides together. So I'm just gonna do this around the edges. And then because I'm just gonna do the other ones to get my tops, I'm just gonna use one of these right now, obviously. You might wanna stretch it just a little bit to make sure it goes over the filling. We're gonna put it down. And you can just press it together like this, but I'm gonna also take a fork and do a little crimped edge right around it here to make it look very pretty. All the way around the edge. And then on the top, I'm also going to do a little bit of egg wash so that it's nice and pretty. So I'm gonna do a little bit more egg wash on the top here. There we go. Oh, and you can see I have a couple little cracks in it. That's okay, but you definitely want to vent. So I'm gonna do a little crisscross here in the middle so that can vent in the oven. And then just to make it pretty, I'm gonna take sort of this sprinkled sugar and sprinkle it on top. And it'll give it a little extra sweetness too. How cute is that? So those are ready to go. When I get them all done, I have the oven preheating to 400 degrees. I'm just gonna pop them in there for 10 to 12 minutes or so until they're just lightly golden brown, and then we'll pull them out and maybe go on to a next step. I'm gonna give you the option of doing that, but I'll finish these up and then pop them in the oven. We have our little cute hand pies out of the oven. I think they look adorable. They turned out perfectly, and you can absolutely keep them just like this. They're gonna be delicious. But if you wanna take it up one more little notch and add some cute decorations and a little bit more sweetness, you can put on a glaze and some decorations. That's what I'm gonna do. So to make the glaze, it's just the powdered sugar, milk, little vanilla. Made it a million times before. It's about a half a cup. I didn't really measure because this is kind of eyeballing it. But if you're gonna do about a half a cup, you wanna do about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla if you really like vanilla like I do. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. There we go. And then I would say about a tablespoon or so of milk. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and then mix it up. All right, so I'm gonna get this down to the consistency that I want and then put it everywhere too. And then we'll move on to our final step. Okay, now that I have this mixed up, I'm gonna pour this in a little bowl, kind of a low bowl, so that I have a lot of surface area there on the top, and I'll show you why. So once I get most of it out there, then you can just take one of your cute little hand pies again, if you don't want to keep it like it is, and then just dip the top in there. Get the glaze all over the top. Whoop. Then we're going to tip it over. Let's see, I'll just put it right here. Then I found these cute little decorations in the baking aisle, and they're pink and white and sparkly, so it's very Valentine's Day-esque. So I'm gonna take a little bit of these and then just like sprinkle them on top and have it stick in the glaze there. And then you have a really fancy little hand pie. And obviously you'll let this glaze set and then your decorations will stick and you have a cute little Valentine's Day treat. A sweet for your sweetheart. Try to say that 3 times fast. A sweet for your sweetheart. That's what it is. All right, give it a shot. Cheers. Well, if you happen to have a picture to share of one of my recipes you've made or an idea for a future segment, you can text us at 614-460-3345 or find me on social media. And by the way, you can also text the word bites to that same number to have a link to this recipe sent straight to your phone.